First of all, we are going to talk about the rules of the present simple tense, and I'm going to give you some examples to clarify each rule. Let's start with the first rule. First of all, you have to know that verbs in the simple present are used with plural nouns or with pronouns like we, they, and you have no special endings. It means when a simple present verb is used with a plural noun, it has no special ending, or in other words, it doesn't end with s. Okay, so this is the first rule. Verbs that are in the simple present, when they are used with plural nouns or pronouns such as we, they, you, the children, the teachers, the bus drivers, when the noun or pronoun is plural, the verb doesn't end with s. It means it has no special ending. Let's look at the examples. We, they, or you play outside. As you can see, play is written in the root form. We didn't add any ending to the verb because we have plural pronouns. Let's see the second sentence. The children. The children is also a plural noun. Play outside. So as you can see, we didn't add s to the verb. We kept play in its root form because the children is a plural noun. Children is a plural noun. So the first rule that you have to keep in mind is that when the simple present is used with plural nouns or pronouns, we do not add s to the verb. The second rule is that verbs in the simple present tense with the singular noun or pronoun, he, she, or it, usually ends with s. It means if the subject, if the noun or the pronoun, the doer of the action is singular, we have to add s to the verb. Like he, she, it plays outside, the boy plays outside. We added s to the verb, and now we are going to discuss the spelling rules, but this is the general rule. The boy plays outside, so as you can see, we added s because boy is a singular noun, he, she, it are singular nouns. Now we are going to start with the spelling rules. When do we add es to the simple present verb? We add es to the simple present verb when the verb ends with o, like goes. Jane goes to school. So here we added es because the verb ends with o. sh, brushes. He brushes his teeth. So we added es because the verb here ends with sh. ss, like pass, passes. So we add es because the verb ends with double s. ch, like the word watch. He watches TV every day. So we add es because the verb ends with ch. When the verb ends also with x, we add es, like mixes. We added es because the verb ends with e. Also, when the verb ends with z, we add also es. So, we add es to some verbs which end with o, sh, double s, ch, x, and z. So, if the verb ends with one of these, it means we have to add es to the verb. Now, rule number 4. If the simple verb ends with y preceded by a consonant, we change y to I and add es. Let's see the example. Study. D precedes y, and it's a consonant letter, it's not a vowel letter. That's why we cross the y and add ies, like Harry. Also, R precedes Y, and R is a consonant letter. So we cross the Y, or we drop the Y and add IES. So rule number 4 says that when a simple present verb ends with Y, preceded with a consonant letter, we have to change the Y to I and add IES. Rule number 5 is also related to the letter Y. If the simple present verb ends with Y, preceded with a vowel letter, it means preceded with A, E, I, O, or U, we have to just add S to the verb without changing the Y to anything else. Okay? If the subject is a singular subject. So like play, play ends with Y preceded with A, and A is a vowel letter. So we just add S to the verb. Like say, say also ends with Y preceded with A. So A is also a vowel letter. So we do not drop the Y, we just add S. The last rule says that verbs in the present simple used with I and you have no special endings. It means I say I write, I play, I eat, I drink, I study, I do, I watch, I brush. And I say the same to you. You write, you like, you watch, you play, you do. Okay, you take, you make. So when the simple present verb is used with I and you, we do not add anything to the verb. Okay, so verbs with I and you have no special endings. It means I cannot say I writes or you plays. This is wrong. So these are the rules of the present simple tense, the spelling rules of this present simple tense. Let's see what's next. Now we are going to move to something very important, which is the uses. Let's read together the following sentences, underline the subject and the verb, and deduce the different uses of the present simple. Let's see. Self-confidence is a necessary survival trait. This is a general fact. Let's see the subject. The subject is self-confidence, and the verb is a necessary survival trait. So here, this sentence is stating a general fact. So the first use of the present simple tense is stating general facts. Number 2, we usually spend summertime in the mountains. As you can see, we is the subject and spend is the verb. We usually spend summertime in the mountains. It means every year we do this habitually. So the simple present tense is also used to express habitual actions, actions which are repetitive, actions that you always do. I visit my grandmother on Saturdays. It means every Saturday I visit my grandmother. So this also is a habitual action. Number 3, Emma believes in her ability to succeed at her new job. This is an opinion. I'm just expressing a certain opinion. Emma believes, she thinks, okay? She thinks that she believes in her ability. It means I think, I believe, I guess. In my opinion, Emma believes in her ability to succeed. So here, Emma is the subject and believes is the verb. As you can see, Emma is a singular subject, so that's why we added S to the verb. So the third use of the simple present tense is to express a certain opinion. Number 4, the temperature reaches 35 degrees Celsius in this town during summer. The first thing that I want you to look at is 35, and then we are going to underline the subject, which is temperature, and the verb, which is reaches. Temperature is singular. That's why we added es. Why did we add es? We added es because the verb ends with ch. Now, I asked you to look at 35 degrees Celsius because this is a number. It's a real number. It's something real. It's a fact. It cannot be changed. So, the fourth use of the simple present tense is to express facts, real events. Number 5. Our plane leaves to Madrid at 10 a.m. Scheduled future action. What do we mean by scheduled future action? First, let's underline the subject, circle the verb. Plane is a singular subject, so we added s to leaves. Scheduled future action, if you can see here, they said at 10 a.m. When I say at 10 a.m. or when I state the time, it means this action is scheduled. I already planned for this action. That's why we say our plane leaves. So the fifth use of the present simple tense is to state scheduled future actions. Number 6. When you arrive at the beach, please send me a message in a time clause. So here I'm asking someone, when you arrive to the beach, please send me a message. Okay? So I'm asking you to do something at a specific period of time. Arrive is a verb and you is the subject. We didn't add s to arrive because here it comes with you. And we said when the simple present tense is stated with you or I, we do not add s to the verb. So these are the uses of the simple present tense. As we said, it expresses general facts, habitual or repetitive actions, opinion, fact or real events, scheduled future actions which are planned for, and in a time clause it means at a certain period of time. So as you can see, this is a summary. We've mentioned them. The 5 uses of the present simple tense: express habitual actions, a general or scientific fact, opinion, schedule future actions, and in a time clause. Now we are going to move to the form of the present tense. A person with low self-confidence avoids social gatherings. Let's see here. A person is the subject and avoids is the verb. Okay? As you can see, when the subject is singular, we add s to the verb. This is the first form. They avoid going to mountains during winter for safety reasons. They here is the subject, and as you know, they is a plural pronoun. That's why we didn't add s to the verb, because they is a plural pronoun. And we said when we have a plural pronoun, we do not add s to the verb. As you can see, they is the subject, avoid is the verb. So this is the form of the present simple tense. When we have a singular subject, we add s to the verb. Of course, based on the spelling rules that we have explained before. When we have a plural subject, the verb has no changes. It stays in its root form. Now, we have to remember this rule. What do we deduce at the end of all what we have explained now? We deduce that with third person subject pronouns, it means when I say he, she, it, we add s, es, or ies to the verb. It means when I say he studies, he drinks, she plays, it scratches. Okay, so we are adding s, es, or ies to the verb. So we deduce that with the third person, he, she, it, we add s, es, or ies to the verb depending on the ending. Okay, it means if it ends with o, with x, with double s, if it ends with e, So it's based on the spelling rules that we have explained. With other subject pronouns, it means I, you, we, they. The verb remains the same. Now, we are going to explain something very important. Frequency adverbs. What are the frequency adverbs or adverbs of time that we use in the present simple tense? As we said, the present simple tense is a tense which expresses actions that happen habitually, facts, and so on. So, the frequency adverbs shows us when is the action happening and how often is the action happening. As you can see, always, frequently, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, seldom, occasionally, scarcely, never, etc. These are some of the frequency adverbs used in the simple present tense. We can also use, for example, every month, every year, every week, on Saturdays, on Mondays. These also are some of the adverbs used to in the simple present tense. They often come before the action verb, but after the verb to be. So this is the place of these frequency adverbs. Let's look at the examples here. She usually eats breakfast before she goes to school. The frequency adverb here is usually. It's written in bold here. It is written before the action verb. This is the action verb. Eats is the action verb. So the adverbs of frequency usually come before the action verb. She is usually late for work. Also here, usually is the adverb of frequency, and is here is the verb. As you can see, the frequency adverb here is written after the verb is. So, what do we deduce? We deduce that the adverb of frequency comes before the action verb, but if the verb is verb to be, it comes after it. Now we are going to move to the questions and negatives forms. Let's start with the affirmative form. Jen participates in school play every year. Now we have to write the negative form. Negative means the opposite form. Jen does not participate in the school play every year. Why did we use does? Because Jen is singular. Now, let's move to the question. We have to start with does because Jen is singular. So does Jen participate in the school play every year? And this ends with a question mark because it's the interrogative or the question form. Now you have to notice how we added very do to make the negative and question forms of the sentence. So now you are going to see how we added the verb do, and let's see the second example used with is. Jake is a self-confident person. Jake is not a self-confident person. And here we start the question with is. Is Jake a self-confident person? Here we don't add verb do because we already have a helping verb is. So when we do not have a helping verb, we have to add do in order to form the negative and the question form. But when we already have a helping verb is or are or am, we do not need to add do or does. So this is the conclusion. When we do not have a helping verb, we add a verb do to make the affirmative and negative forms of the sentence. When we have a helping verb is, has, have, am, are, etc., we use the verb and do not add the verb do. So now, after explaining the lesson, let's just start with the practice questions. I am going to solve 2 of the exercises and you are going to solve the rest in the uploaded worksheet. Exercise A says put the verbs between brackets into the simple present tense. As you can see, this is a paragraph, so we have to read the paragraph from the beginning, read every sentence in order to know that if we have to change the verb or not, if the subject is singular or plural. So we have to read the whole text. Let's start with number 1. John Fields, a farmer. Here we have the verb be. As we said before, be is either is, am, or are. Okay? John Fields is the name of the person, so it is a singular noun, singular subject. So the correct answer is. So John Fields is a farmer. He at 5 o'clock in the morning. The verb here is get up, and he is a singular subject or a singular pronoun. So he gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. He again, as we said, is a singular pronoun. Washes. Here, remember the rule, we have to add es to the verb because it ends with sh. So he washes. Get dressed. We are still talking about him, so he is the pronoun also. Gets dressed. And have breakfast. So because he is a singular pronoun, so have becomes has. So the sentence becomes he washes, gets dressed, and has breakfast. He, his coat, and go outside. He puts on, because he is a singular pronoun, puts on his coat and goes outside. We have to add here es to the verb because it ends with o. So he puts on his coat and goes outside. He the cows early in the morning. He is a singular pronoun. We are still talking about John Fields, so he milks the cows early in the morning. Now something changes. His wife and his children. So here we have a plural subject, a compound subject and a plural noun. So his wife and children. So more than one. His wife and children. We have here a negative form. Not and get up. Not means either don't or doesn't. Since the noun is, or the doer of the action is his wife and children, it means not one person, not singular. So we use don't. So his wife and children don't get up early. They is also a plural pronoun, and we said in the rules before, when we have a plural pronoun, we do not add s to the verb. So they get up at 7 o'clock. His wife, here's a singular pronoun, a singular noun. His wife, the chickens. So his wife feeds the chickens and then she makes some tea for herself. Makes because we are talking about his wife and she is a singular pronoun. The children not like tea. As we said before in number 9, not is either do or does. Singular is not, children is not a singular noun, it's a plural noun. So we cannot say the children doesn't like, it's the children don't like tea. They is a plural pronoun, so we do not say they drinks, we say they drink milk. At 7:30 a.m., John, which is a singular noun, John takes the children to school. His wife, also singular, helps John on the farm, and then she, do is the verb because she is a singular pronoun. we have to add es. So because the verb ends with o and because the pronoun is singular. So, and then she does the housework. At 4 o'clock, the children come home from school. Come stays the same. We do not make any changes because children is a plural noun. Mrs. Fields, which is his wife, who is his wife being Mr. John's wife, cooks. Why did we add s? Because Mrs. Fields is a singular noun. Cooks dinner. John not help. Not help. Not shows that we have a negative form here, which is either do or does. As we said before, John is a singular pronoun, a singular noun. So we say John doesn't help his wife with the cooking because he can't cook. In the evening, John and his wife, it means both. We're not talking about one, it's not singular anymore. John and his wife watch TV or listen to the radio. The children not watch. Also again a negative form. The children don't or do not watch because the children is a plural noun. TV. They is a plural pronoun, so we do not say they does. They do their homework. They all go to bed at 9 p.m. Go stays the same because they is a plural pronoun. So they all go to bed at 9 p.m. Now let's move to this chart. We have to change the sentences or continue. Actually, we have to continue the chart as required. In the first sentence, they stated the affirmative form. In the second, the negative, and in the third, the interrogative sentence, the interrogative form. We have to change the affirmative to negative and interrogative. Let's check. My older brother is a great cook. If we want to change the sentence to the negative form, we have to add not because it's the negative. It's the negative form, the opposite form. So my older brother is not a great cook. Since here the verb is, so we have to start the interrogative sentence with is. Is your older brother a great cook? And of course we have to add the question mark. Kim doesn't enjoy swimming in the ocean. If we want to change this sentence to the affirmative form, we do not have to add does. So Kim enjoys. So we have to add s here because Kim is a singular noun. So Kim enjoys swimming in the ocean. When we write the interrogative form, we have to start the question with does. Does Kim enjoy swimming in the ocean? We do not add s to enjoy because we already have does. So does Kim enjoy and not does Kim enjoys. So it becomes does Kim enjoy swimming in the ocean. The last one, they stated the interrogative form. We have to write the negative and the affirmative form. Do you usually visit your grandma on Saturdays? The affirmative form. I usually visit my grandma on Saturdays. We do not say I visit usually, I usually visit, because as we said before, the adverb of frequency comes before the action verb. So I usually visit my grandma on Saturdays. The negative form. You usually don't visit your grandma on Saturdays, or you don't usually visit. Now, the correct form is you don't usually visit because the negative form should come before the adverb of frequency. So you don't usually visit your grandma on Saturdays. This is the negative. Here's the first exercise solved. The words in red are the verbs that you should change to the simple present tense. And here's the answers of the chart. I hope you all understood the lesson. I'm waiting for your questions during the Zoom live session. Thank you for watching.